The dorm room door slammed shut like a gunshot, echoing through the empty hallway of Hawthorne Hall. Joseph froze, his backpack slipping from his shoulder, heart pounding as if it might crack his ribs. "I know who you are, Joey," the voice said from the shadows, low and laced with something dangerously close to pity. His new roommate, Ryan, stepping into the dim light of the single bulb, holding Joseph's faded high school yearbook like a loaded weapon. Joseph had driven 18 hours straight from the flat, unforgiving cornfields of rural Nebraska, windows down to let the wind whip away the ghosts of his old life. At 17, he'd been the kid everyone whispered about, the one caught kissing Tommy Hargrove behind the bleachers after prom, the one whose face ended up plastered on the locker room wall with "faggot" scrawled in red marker. His parents, God-fearing folks who'd prayed harder over his confusion than they'd ever hugged him, had shipped him off to conversion therapy camp that summer. "It's for your own good, son," his dad had muttered, eyes fixed on the horizon like Joseph was already a lost cause. But Joseph wasn't fixing anything. He was running. UC Berkeley was his fresh start, palm trees, protests, and a student body too busy chasing dreams to care about a quiet kid from the heartland. He'd scrubbed his socials clean, deleted every trace of Joey the Sinner, and reinvented himself as Joseph Hale, pre-med major with a fake smile and a lockbox heart. The drive had been a blur of dive bar coffee and classic rock on AM radio, Springsteen's gravelly voice crooning about highways and broken promises. By the time he pulled into the Berkeley Hills, the sun was dipping low, painting the Golden Gate Bridge in blood orange hues. His mom had texted a single thumbs-up emoji. "No, I love you. No, call when you settle in. Fine." He didn't need it. The admissions packet said Hawthorne Hall was co-ed but roommate assigned by lottery. Joseph had prayed for a nerdy gamer type, someone who'd nod through small talk and vanish into headphones. Not this. Ryan Keller unfolded from the desk chair like he'd been waiting for a showdown, all 6'2" of him, broad shoulders straining a faded UC Berkeley hoodie. His hair was that effortless tousled blonde that screamed California surfer, but his eyes sharp, sea blue, held a weight that didn't match the easy grin. The yearbook thumped onto the lower bunk as Ryan crossed his arms. Page 147. Most likely to cure cancer or break hearts. Cute photo. You look like you're about to bolt from the photographer. Joseph's stomach twisted into knots. He'd buried that book in the deepest box, labeled "Don't Open" in Sharpie. How the hell? He snatched it up, flipping to the page. There he was, awkward junior year Joey, arms slung around the football team, hiding the bruise from last week's lesson, in the chem lab. "Where'd you get this?" His voice came out strangled, not the cool baritone he'd practiced in the rearview. Ryan shrugged, leaning against the cinder block wall, the room's fluorescent hum the only sound between them. It was a shoebox space, 2 narrow beds, desks scarred from a decade of stressed-out undergrads, a window overlooking the foggy bay. Posters of indie bands and a surfboard propped in the corner screamed Ryan's vibe. Laid back, worldly, the kind of guy who'd backpacked Europe on daddy's dime. eBay. Saw it pop up last week. Figured it was fate. Joseph Hale, incoming freshman, matched the name. Thought it'd be a fun icebreaker. Fun. Joseph's laugh was bitter, scraping his throat. Yeah, real hilarious. Look, I don't know what game you're playing, but no game. Ryan's grin faded, replaced by something softer, almost apologetic. He pushed off the wall, hands up like he was approaching a skittish animal. I grew up in Omaha. Small world, right? Tommy Hargrove's my cousin. He posted the pics on his private Insta last year. Tagged him, handle with care. Queer Tears Edition. I saw your name in the comments. Some asshole from your school doxing you. Figured if you're here, you're starting over. Same as me. Joseph's world tilted. Tommy. The betrayal burned fresh, even after a year. They'd been secret sweethearts for 6 months. Stolen kisses in haylofts, whispered promises under starlit skies. Then Tommy's buddies found out, turned it into a witch hunt. Joseph got the fists, Tommy got the hero's welcome. And now this golden boy from the same poison well knew it all. So you're what? Here to finish the job. Tell the whole campus I'm damaged goods. Ryan winced, rubbing the back of his neck. Nah, man. I'm here because Omaha chewed me up too. Dad's a state senator, big on family values. Mom's the perfect stepford wife. I came out at 16. Got the whole Pray the Gay Away tour. Ryan's the black sheep who fled west. I get it, Joseph. The hiding, the running. That's why I bought the book. To say, I see you, not to out you. The words hung heavy, laced with a vulnerability that cracked Joseph's armor just a sliver. He sank onto the unmade bed, yearbook clutched like a shield. Outside, the bay foghorn moaned, a lonely call in the twilight. For the first time in months, the weight on his chest eased, not gone, but shared. It's Joseph now. Not Joey. Joseph it is. Ryan extended a hand, calloused from what looked like guitar strings. Welcome to the escape hatch. Beers in the mini-fridge if you want to toast to bad decisions. Joseph hesitated, then gripped it, firm, warm, electric. Maybe Berkeley wasn't just a hiding spot. Maybe it was a reckoning. The first week blurred into a haze of syllabi and survival. Joseph's intro bio lecture was a sea of overachievers, all armed with MacBooks and kale smoothies. He stuck to the edges, notebook in lap, eyes on the professor's slides about cellular mitosis. Division, multiplication, ironic, how cells didn't give a damn about labels. Ryan dragged him to orientation mixers, where trust fund kids in Patagonia vests swapped gap year stories. Loosen up. Hail. Ryan teased over lukewarm punch, his knee brushing Joseph's under the folding table. Accidental? Joseph shoved the thought down, focusing on the free pizza. Nights in the dorm were quieter battles. Ryan strummed his acoustic guitar, covers of Bon Iver and Fleet Foxes filling the air with melancholy ache. Joseph studied by desk lamp, stealing glances at the way Ryan's fingers danced over frets, veins mapping stories untold. One evening, as rain pattered the window, Ryan paused mid-chord. Ever play? He held out the guitar. Joseph shook his head. Piano. Back home. Church hymns mostly. He took it anyway, fumbling the strings. Ryan's hand covered his, guiding a simple G chord. The touch lingered, warm against Joseph's knuckles, sending sparks up his arm. There. You've got it. Ryan's breath ghosted his ear, close enough to smell his cedar cologne. Joseph's pulse thrummed. He handed it back too quick, mumbling about flashcards. In the bathroom mirror later, he stared at flushed cheeks. Get a grip, he whispered. Ryan was straight, had to be. The easy charm, the ex-girlfriend stories from high school, carefully edited, Joseph suspected. But the knowing looks, The way Ryan's gaze softened when Joseph tensed around Jocks in the quad. It stirred something dangerous. By week 2, routine settled like bay fog. Mornings, shared cereal bowls, Ryan's bad jokes over frosted flakes. Afternoons, library marathons, Joseph's pre-med grind clashing with Ryan's film study sketches, storyboards of gritty indie flicks about lost boys finding home. Evenings, walks to Telegraph Avenue, dodging street preachers and incense vendors. Ryan bought falafel wraps from a cart run by a grizzled ex-hippie, splitting them on a bench as buskers wailed Dylan covers. "You're different here," Ryan said one night, fog rolling in thick from the water. They sat on the dorm roof, contraband access via fire escape, passing a pilfered six-pack. Joseph's legs dangled over the edge, city lights twinkling like hesitant stars. Less guarded. Like you're breathing for the first time. Joseph swigged his beer, the bitterness grounding him. You don't know me, but he wanted Ryan to. God, he wanted it, the spill of secrets, the unraveling. Tommy had been a fumbling crush, all teenage heat and no depth. Ryan felt like gravity, pulling him toward honesty. I know enough. Ryan's voice dropped, elbow nudging Joseph's. That yearbook? It wasn't just pity. Tommy's an ass, always was. Bragged about straightening you out at family barbecues. I wanted to deck him. But you survived that shit. Makes you stronger than most. The compliment landed soft, blooming warmth in Joseph's chest. He turned, their faces inches apart in the sodium glow. Ryan's eyes held no judgment, only a quiet hunger that mirrored his own. For a heartbeat, Joseph leaned in, lips parting on instinct. Then Ryan pulled back, clearing his throat. Whoa! Easy there, Hale. Save the bromance for the credits. Joseph's face burned. Rejection, sharp as Nebraska ice. He laughed it off, clinking bottles. Yeah, right. Just the beer talking. But as they climbed down, Ryan's hand on his back lingered a beat too long. Seeds of doubt or hope took root in the dark. Fall midterms hit like a freight train. Joseph buried himself in textbooks, caffeine his only companion as Ryan filmed a short doc on Berkeley's underground queer poetry scene. Come watch the shoot, Ryan invited, casual as ever. Joseph demurred, too raw after the roof fumble. But Ryan persisted, showing up at the library with takeout foe. You're turning into a hermit, man. Live a little. The poetry slam was in a dim basement off campus. Walls plastered with zines and rainbow flags. Slam poets spat verses about Stonewall riots and grinder ghosts. The crowd a mix of pierced undergrads and graying activists. Joseph hovered at the bar, nursing a soda, while Ryan's camera captured the fire. A lanky kid with blue hair recited, I came out to the mirror first, because even glass doesn't flinch. Joseph's throat tightened. He slipped out for air, gulping the chill night. Ryan found him on the curb, camera slung over his shoulder. You okay? Just stuff. Joseph kicked a pebble, watching it skitter into the gutter. Reminds me of home. The hiding. Ryan sat beside him, close enough their thighs touched. Tell me about Tommy. It wasn't a question. Joseph exhaled, the story tumbling out. Kisses in the dark. The betrayal's blade. The camp where counselors quoted Leviticus like it was gospel. Ryan listened, silent, jaw tight. When Joseph finished, voice cracking, Ryan pulled him into a hug. No words, just the steady rise-fall of his chest, cologne mingling with rain-damp wool. Joseph's hands fisted Ryan's hoodie, tears hot on his cheeks. Safe. For the first time, truly safe. They walked back in silence, arms brushing. In the dorm, Ryan paused at the door. "You're brave, Joseph. Braver than me." Then he was gone, leaving Joseph adrift in the what-ifs. The shift was subtle, seismic. Ryan's touches multiplied. A hand on Joseph's shoulder during movie nights, queer cinema marathons. Ryan swore for research, fingers grazing when passing the remote. Laughter came easier, inside jokes stacking like bricks. Nebraska Joe for his corn-fed habits, Hollywood Ryan for his dramatic flair. Joseph caught himself daydreaming. Ryan's laugh in sunlight, the curve of his neck midstrum. Thanksgiving loomed, a specter. Joseph's parents expected him home. Ryan was flying to his sisters in LA. "Bail on the folks," Ryan urged over late-night ramen. "Crash with me. Beaches, tacos, no drama. Tempting. Too tempting. Can't. They'd disown me for real." Joseph forced a grin. "Besides, I owe you for the poetry night bailout." Ryan's eyes searched his, something unspoken flickering. "Just say the word. Hail." Doors open. The holiday call came as Joseph chopped onions for a solo feast, canned cranberry and microwave turkey. His mom's voice crackled over the line. "Your father's asking about that camp. Said it did wonders." Joseph's knife slipped, nicking his thumb. Blood welled, sharp and red. "Wonders? Huh? Tell him I'm cured." He hung up, bandaging the cut, the sting a welcome distraction. Ryan texted from LAX. "Miss your ugly mug already." "Survive the pilgrims?" Joseph, "Barely." "You?" Ryan. "Sis set me up with her friend. Total disaster. Thinking of you instead." Joseph stared at the screen, heart slamming. "Flirtation? Or pity?" He typed back. "Liar. Go conquer Hollywood." But as snow flurries dusted the quad, impossible Berkeley magic, Joseph wondered if escape meant facing the pull, not fleeing it. Winter quarter crashed in with a vengeance. Syllabus snowstorms burying Joseph's desk. He and Ryan fell into a rhythm that felt dangerously like home. Mornings tangled in shared blankets during power outages. Ryan's arm slung casual over Joseph's waist as they binge-watched the L-Word reruns. "Research," Ryan insisted, but his fingers traced lazy circles on Joseph's hip, sending shivers that had nothing to do with the chill. Joseph played along, heart a war drum, convincing himself it was just roommate bro stuff. Deep down, he knew better. The air between them crackled, charged like the static before a Bay Area storm. Ryan's film project consumed him, a semi-autobiographical short about a closeted senator's son chasing authenticity in the city. He roped Joseph in as consultant, late nights in the editing bay where Ryan's thigh pressed against his under the console. "What would you do?" Ryan asked once, pausing the footage, a grainy confession scene under neon lights. "If you could go back, tell your past self one thing." Joseph leaned back, the chair creaking. "Stop running." The words escaped unbidden. Ryan's gaze locked on, intense, and for a moment, Joseph thought he'd close the gap. Instead, Ryan hit play, the actor's voice filling the void. "I'm not broken. I'm just beginning." The flirtation escalated in fits and starts. A drunken game of kings during a floor party. where waterfall turned into Ryan feeding Joseph shots from the bottle, lips brushing knuckles. Whispers in the dark when insomnia hit. Ryan admitting his first crush was the youth group leader. Joseph confessing the ache of camp sing-alongs twisted into lies. Each revelation peeled back layers, exposing nerves that sang with possibility. But doubt gnawed. Ryan's phone buzzed with texts from Alex, a film classmate, all emojis and late-night meetups. Joseph glimpsed a selfie once, Ryan grinning with a tousled guy over craft beers. Straight ally? Or something more? Jealousy coiled, ugly and unfamiliar. He buried it in Argo Labs, dissecting frogs while his mind vivisected what-ifs. Spring break dangled like a lifeline. Joseph's parents were hosting a church retreat, no invite for the prodigal. Ryan, sensing the storm, cornered him in the shower line. Road trip. Big Sur. Tent. S'mores. Zero cell service. Say yes. Joseph's resolve cracked. You're on. Keller. The drive south was pure freedom. Windows down. Ryan's playlist blasting The National and Hosier. Joseph's hand on the gearshift inches from Ryan's knee. They hiked Pfeiffer Beach at dawn. Purple sand cool underfoot. Waves crashing like applause. Over campfire coffee, Ryan pulled out marshmallows, roasting them to gooey perfection. To reinvention, he toasted, eyes reflecting the flames. Joseph clinked his mug. To not burning the evidence. Laughter faded into quiet. The ocean's roar a confessional. Ryan shifted closer, shoulder to shoulder. Joseph. That night on the roof. I froze. Not because I didn't want. He swallowed, voice rough. Because I did. Too much. And I didn't want to screw this up. Time stuttered. Joseph's breath caught. The world narrowing to Ryan's parted lips. The heat radiating between them. Then don't, he whispered, bridging the gap. The kiss was ignition, slow at first, tentative, then hungry, Ryan's hands cupping Joseph's face as if he were fragile porcelain. Salt and smoke on tongues, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long separated. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, grins breaking wide. About damn time, Ryan murmured, stealing another peck. Big Sur blurred into a montage of bliss. Cliffside hikes where hands intertwined unashamed. Tide pool explorations dissolving into make-out sessions against jagged rocks. Tent nights tangled in sleeping bags. Whispers turning to moans under star-pricked skies. Joseph learned the map of Ryan's freckles. The hitch in his breath when fingers trailed spines. Ryan confessed fragments. His dad's campaign trail horrors, the ex who bailed when coming out got too real. You're the first who sees all of me, he said one dawn, Joseph's head on his chest, heartbeat a steady lullaby. Back at Berkeley, the glow lingered. Stolen kisses in the stacks. Ryan's foot hooked around Joseph's under lecture hall desks. They came out to the floor, casual, over pizza. We're together. Deal with it. Most cheered. A few side-eyed. Joseph braced for backlash. But Ryan's arm around his waist was armor. Yet shadows crept. Ryan's phone lit up more with Alex's name. Just collab stuff, he'd say. But the late returns from edits left Joseph pacing the room. Paranoia a bitter brew. One night, Ryan stumbled in at 2 a.m., reeking of whiskey and something floral. Fell asleep on the couch, he slurred, collapsing into bed. Joseph lay awake, the space between them a chasm. Midterms mercifully ended, But tension simmered. Ryan pitched his film at a campus showcase. Joseph in the front row, pride swelling as the screen flickered to life. The final shot, two silhouettes embracing against a foggy bridge, title card reading Haven. Applause thundered. Ryan dedicated it on stage. To the one who made it real. Joseph's eyes stung. Love a fierce tide. Post-party. They tumbled into the dorm, buzzed on cheap wine. Clothes shed in a trail. Bodies worshipful. Ryan's mouth mapping collarbones. Joseph's nails raking backs. I love you, Ryan gasped into his neck, the words a vow sealed in sweat. I love you too, Joseph echoed, the admission freeing as flight. But love's honeymoon soured subtle. Ryan grew distant, buried in post-prod. Alex appeared at their door once. Lean, smirking, all Lululemon and entitlement. Heard the film's killer. We should grab coffee. Brainstorm sequel. Ryan laughed it off, but Joseph's gut twisted. The breaking point brewed over a weekend film fest in SF. Ryan begged Joseph to come, it's us time, but bailed last minute for a panel opportunity with Alex. Alone in the hostel, Joseph scrolled old texts, landing on one from Ryan's sis. Careful with the pretty boys, little bro. They break easy. Paranoia peaked. He called. Voicemail. By midnight, drunk on corner store gin, he stormed a bar near the fest venue. There they were, Ryan and Alex, heads bent close over a laptop in a booth. Alex's hand on Ryan's arm. Laughter intimate. Joseph's vision tunneled. He approached. Voice steel. Am I interrupting? Ryan startled, face paling. Joseph? What are you? Saving face. Apparently, the words lashed out, venom born of fear. Alex smirked, sliding away. I'll text you. The walk back was war, accusations flying like shrapnel. He's just a colleague, Ryan protested. You think I'd throw us away for that? Then why the secrets? The late nights? Joseph's voice cracked, tears hot. I'm not Tommy's mistake. Don't make me yours. Ryan stopped under a street lamp, rain starting to spit. It's not God. Joseph, I came out for you. Risked everything because you make me brave. He grabbed Joseph's wrist, pulled desperate. Don't do this. But doubt was a floodgate. Joseph yanked free, hailing a cab. Fix it, Ryan. Or we're done. Back in Berkeley, the dorm echoed hollow. Ryan's apologies piled in voicemails. I swear, it's nothing. Come home. Joseph ghosted, crashing on a classmate's couch, nursing wounds. The betrayal wasn't Alex. It was the echo of Nebraska, the fear that love was always a setup for fall. A week in, Ryan cornered him post-lecture, eyes red-rimmed. Talk to me. Please. They ended up in the arboretum, benches slick with dew. Ryan spilled. Alex was an old hookup, pre-Joseph, pushing boundaries for the film's authenticity. I shut it down. Told him about you. Us. Joseph's walls trembled. Why didn't you say? Fear. Ryan's admission hung raw. Of losing you. Like I lost everything else. The kiss was reconciliation. Fierce. Forgiving. Rain mingling with tears. But scars lingered. Trust a fragile mend. Summer beckoned. Internships calling. Joseph landed a lab gig at UCSF. Ryan scored a PA spot on an indie set in LA. Weekend warrior? Ryan proposed. sealing it with promises. Yet as Joseph packed, a letter arrived unmarked, postmarked Omaha. Inside, a photo of him and Ryan from the fest, candid, kissing in the crowd. Scribbled below, "Faggots deserve each other. Watch your back." Tommy's handwriting, unmistakable. Joseph's blood iced. He showed Ryan, who cursed, fists clenched. He found out. Through Alex, family grapevine, the threat loomed, but in Ryan's arms that night, Joseph found steel. "We fight this together," or so he thought. As the plane to LA lifted off, Ryan's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown. "Tell Joey I said hi. Wouldn't want Dad's campaign hearing about his little secret." Ryan deleted it, heart sinking. Some secrets weren't buried deep enough. LA summer seared like a fever dream, palm-shaded streets baking under relentless sun. Ryan vanishing into 12-hour shoots on a dusty backlit in Burbank. Joseph drove down weekends, the I-5 a ribbon of asphalt regret, radio crooning Lana Del Rey laments. Their reunions were fire, motel rooms off Sunset, sheets twisted in haste. Ryan's apologies murmured into Joseph's skin like prayers. "Missed you," he'd breathe, hands reverent. But the distance gnawed, texts turning curt, calls dropping into voicemails. Joseph's lab days blurred, pipettes and petri dishes a sterile escape, while nights alone in his sublet. He'd scroll Ryan's Insta, set selfies with the crew, Alex's likes glowing like accusations. The threat letter haunted, a specter in Joseph's glove box. He hadn't told his parents. Couldn't, not after their last call. Dad's voice thick with unspoken ultimatum. "Don't embarrass us out there, son." Ryan swore he'd handle Tommy, block numbers, ghost the past, but whispers of doubt crept. Was Ryan protecting him, or curating a narrative? Joseph's therapy sessions, mandated by admissions for adjustment, unearthed the rot. Abandonment wounds from camp, where counselors preached love but delivered isolation. "Trust is earned," his shrink said, a soft-spoken woman with henna tattoos. "But fear steals it first." Mid-July, Ryan invited him to the rap party, a rooftop bash at the Roosevelt, stars winking over Hollywood Hills. Joseph arrived in thrift store chinos, feeling like an extra in Ryan's blockbuster life. The crowd swirled, producers in linen suits, starlets with vape clouds, Alex holding court by the bar, his gaze lingering too long on Ryan. "Babe!" Ryan pulled Joseph close, kiss performative under the string lights. But as the night wore on, Ryan drifted, networking handshakes, laughter booming with the director. Joseph nursed a gin and tonic, eavesdropping on Alex's pitch. That queer angle? Gold. Lean in scandal cells. By 1 a.m., Joseph found Ryan in a shadowed corner, Alex's arms slung casual around his shoulders, heads bent over a script page. The photo from the letter flashed in Joseph's mind, betrayal's echo. "Having fun," his voice sliced the air. Ryan jolted, disentangling. "Joseph, hey? Just brainstorming. With your muse." Sarcasm dripped, venom from old wounds. Alex chuckled, low and mean. "Jealousy's unflattering. Hail. Fuck off." "Alex." Ryan's snap was sharp, but Joseph was already turning, storming to the elevator. Ryan caught him on the street, traffic humming neon. "Wait, it's nothing." He's pushing for a sequel. That's all. Joseph whirled, eyes blazing. "Nothing? Like the late nights? The texts I pretend not to see. Tears pricked. Hot and humiliating. I'm tired of being the secret sidekick. Ryan. If this is your escape, find one without me. Ryan grabbed his arm, grip bruising. You think I want that? You're everything. My anchor in this circus. His voice broke, raw under the billboard glare. Tommy's letter? I told my dad about us. He threatened to cut me off, but I don't care. Because it's you. The confession disarmed, pulling Joseph into a desperate embrace amid honking cabs. They drove to Ryan's cramped apartment, making love like atonement, slow, deliberate, bodies mapping forgiveness. Dawn found them tangled on the futon, Ryan's fingers tracing Joseph's tattoos, a subtle rainbow ribcage, inked post Big Sir. Marry me someday, Ryan whispered, half joke, half vow. Joseph laughed, heart full, believing. August brought a fragile peace. Joseph's internship wrapped with a glowing rec letter. Ryan's film screened at a microfest, earning buzz. They road-tripped back north. PH Cliffs a vertigo of blues, stopping at Malibu cantinas for fish tacos and stolen kisses. Berkeley welcomed them with fog-kissed arms. The dorm now theirs. Posters of Moonlight and Brokeback flanking the beds. A mini-fridge stocked with craft IPAs. But fall quarter unearthed fault lines. Ryan's film caught an agent's eye, LA callbacks. Weekend flights. Joseph dove into Upper Div bio. Labs running late. Their schedules ships passing in the night. One Tuesday, Joseph came home to find Ryan on the phone. Voice hushed. Yeah. Tommy. Chill. It's not like that. He hung up quick. Feigning casual. Family drama. Cousin being a dick. Joseph's radar pinged. About us. Ryan deflected with a kiss. But the seed of suspicion sprouted. He started checking Ryan's phone when he showered. Nothing overt. Just Alex's flirty memes. Tommy's sporadic pokes. Paranoia poisoned intimacy. Touches turned tentative. Whispers guarded. The blow fell mid-October, during homecoming weekend. Joseph's RA organized a queer alumni mixer rainbow cake. Stories of Stonewall survival. Ryan begged off. Shoot conflict. Babe. Rain check. Joseph went alone. Stealing for solitude. But found solace in a grizzled vet's tale. Love ain't linear. Kid. It's a battlefield. Emboldened. He texted Ryan a selfie amid the crowd. Caption, your loss. Wish you were here. Ryan's reply soon. Love you. But midnight brought a knock. Campus security. Faces grim. Joseph Hale? We need you at the dean's office. Incident reported. The walk across the rain-slick quad was a march to gallows. Dean Rivera, a no-nonsense Latina with wire rims, slid a tablet across her desk. Screenshots of an anonymous email chain. Joseph's face, photoshopped into porn stills, graphic, degrading, circulated to student lists. Subject, freshman faggots' greatest hits. Attached, the Tommy photo, plus dorm candids of him and Ryan. Captioned roomy benefits? Joseph's world grade. Who? Tracing back to an IP in Nebraska, the dean said softly. We're handling it. But we need your statement. Ryan burst in minutes later, wild-eyed from a cab. Joseph, fuck. I just saw the group chat. He dropped to his knees beside the chair, hands clasping Joseph's. It's Tommy. He messaged me last week, baiting. I told him to back off. But God, if I just... The pieces clicked. Brutal. Ryan's family drama calls the deletions. You talked to him. After the letter, Ryan paled. To protect you, he threatened your folks. The lab said he'd ruin everything unless I played nice. Played nice? Joseph's laugh was shards. By feeding him ammo? Those photos. How'd he get them? Ryan's silence damned him. Then, whisper, Alex. He was at the party. Snapped some. I didn't know he'd share. Alex? Again? Fury erupted. Joseph shoving back. You're a magnet for betrayal, Ryan. Or maybe you like the drama. Makes you feel alive. No, Ryan's plea choked. The dean cleared her throat. Gentlemen, perhaps. Save it. Joseph stormed out, rain lashing like accusations. He crashed at the RA's. Phone off. World reduced to sobs into a spare pillow. Dawn brought clarity, cold as steel. Ryan's texts flooded. I'm sorry. Firing Alex. Blocking everyone. Please. Joseph ignored. Attending classes on autopilot. Friends' concerned glances a blur. The dean suspended the email ring. Counseling mandated. But the damage festered, whispers in halls, averted eyes in lectures. A week later, Ryan ambushed him in the arboretum, rain pattering leaves like Morse code. Hear me out. Soaked, shivering, Ryan poured it. Alex's betrayal, a jealous ex. Selling pics to Tommy for spite. Ryan's panic-fueled silence. I thought I was shielding us. But I fucked up. Pushed you away instead of pulling closer. Joseph's heart warred. Love versus lacerations. I can't keep waiting for the next knife, Ryan. It's exhausting. Then let me earn it back. Ryan's eyes pleaded. Voice steel. No more secrets. Full transparency. I love you. Flaws. Fears. All. The rain intensified. Thunder rumbling distant. Joseph stepped into the downpour, arms wrapping Ryan's waist. Prove it. The kiss was tempest. Desperate. Drenched. Pact sealed in storm. But as they stumbled back, hands linked, Joseph wondered if forgiveness was strength or surrender. Fall leaves swirled, harbingers of winter's bite. Winter's grip tightened on Berkeley like a jealous lover, frost rhyming the bay windows, students huddled in beanies and barber coats against the uncharacteristic chill. Joseph and Ryan navigated the aftermath with deliberate care. Trust a tightrope walk. Ryan axed Alex from his life. A blistering email, then a public call-out on the film's credits. No thanks to snakes. Tommy went dark after the dean's cease and desist. But the scars lingered. Joseph's sleep fractured by nightmares of locker room taunts. Ryan's overprotectiveness bordering on smother. They leaned into therapy, tandem sessions with Joseph's shrink. Communication is the bridge, she urged. Her office a sanctuary of succulence and sage. Ryan opened up about his dad's empire. Campaign funds funneled through reparative orgs. The pressure to pose straight for photo ops. Coming out was rebellion, he admitted, Joseph's hand in his. But loving you? That's revolution. Joseph shared the camp horrors. Group prayers where boys confessed sins like crimes. The counselor's grip bruising during exorcisms. I learned to hate the mirror, he said, voice steady for the first time. Ryan's thumb stroked his knuckles. Anchor in the gale. Intimacy rebuilt brick by brick. Slow dances in the dorm to Phoebe Bridgers on vinyl. Ryan's chin on Joseph's shoulder. Whispers of futures. Med school in Boston. Ryan directing queer blockbusters. Sex turned sacred, candlelit, exploratory. Ryan's mouth a liturgy on Joseph's thighs. Affirmations gasped between thrusts. Beautiful. Mine. Home. Yet external storms brewed. Ryan's film hit a queer film fest in Frisco. Red carpet. After parties. Joseph tagged along. Dapper in borrowed blazer. Pride swelling as critics raved. A tender gut punch on visibility's cost. But paparazzi flashes unearthed ghosts. A tabloid stringer cornered Ryan. Heard rumors, Nebraska roots, family feud. Spill on the boyfriend. Ryan stonewalled. Arm tight around Joseph. Private life stays private. Backstage. Though. Doubt flickered. What if they dig? Your parents. Let them. Joseph's chin lifted. I'm done hiding. The high crashed post-fest. Joseph's mom called, voice quavering. Dad in the background. We saw. Pictures. Online. Is it true? The photos. Fest candids. The mid-kiss. Splashed on a gossip rag with Senator's son goes Hollywood homo? Joseph's grip whitened on the phone. Yeah. Mom. It's true. I love him. Silence. Then sobs. Your father's. Processing. Come home. Joey. We can fix this. No fixing. He hung up, chest heaving. Ryan pulled him close on the BART ride home. But the fracture ached. Family's rejection a fresh amputation. Spring bloomed tentative. Cherry blossoms dusting the quad like confetti. Joseph's grades soared. A 4.0 buoying his Stanford med dreams. Ryan landed a Netflix pilot gig. Relocation whispers to LA. We could make it work, Ryan said over rooftop picnics. Skyline sprawling. You summer there. I visit. Or I defer. The words slipped. Reckless. Ryan's eyes lit. But Joseph backpedaled. Joking. Mostly. Tension simmered beneath idols. Ryan's callbacks multiplied. Weekends evaporating into auditions. Joseph filled voids with the campus GSA. Organizing panels on rural queer survival, his story anonymized, but cathartic. One night, post-event, a cute bio major flirted over craft beers. You're fierce, Joseph. Ever think about off limits? He shut it down. Loyal, but the attention stirred unease. Was Ryan drifting too? Late calls from producers. Cologne lingering foreign. The unraveling accelerated in May. During finals fog. Joseph aced his orals. Ryan bombed a screen test. Mood cratering. They argued over nothing, dishes, then distance. You're always gone, Joseph accused. Slamming cabinets. And you're always waiting. Ryan shot back. Regret instant. Shit. Sorry. Stress. But the barb lodged. Joseph stormed to the library, burying in journals till dawn. Ryan's apology text. Coffee run? Truce? Followed by flowers, daisies. Joseph's favorite. Forgiveness flowed easy. Until Joseph's phone buzzed mid-lecture. Unknown sender. Video attachment. He slipped out, hitting play in the hall. Grainy footage. Ryan at a LA bar. Months back. Alex's hand on his thigh. Laughter slurred. Caption. Real love? Asked Tommy. Joseph's knees buckled. The timeline. Pre-reconciliation. But post-roof kiss. Ryan's nothing lie. Exposed. He confronted that night. Video cued. Ryan's face drained. Joseph, it's old. Before us. Really? Liar. The word exploded. You said you shut him down. But here you are. Cozy as hell. Ryan reached. Desperate. I was drunk. Confused. It meant nothing. Everything means something. Joseph's shout echoed. You knew my history, the betrayal, the pain. And you fed me half-truths. Tears tracked Ryan's cheeks. I was scared you'd leave. Like everyone else. So you lied? That's your fix. Joseph grabbed his jacket. I'm done being the fool. He crashed with GSA friends. Whirled a whirlwind of what-ifs. Ryan's pleas bombarded. Calls. Notes slipped under doors. I broke it off for good. Therapy. Transparency. Please. Joseph's shrink mediated a session. Ryan sobbing apologies. Joseph ice cold. Trust is shattered, she noted. Rebuild or release. Weeks blurred. Exams ending. Summer looming. Joseph sublet solo. Ryan exiled to a buddy's couch. The pain was visceral. Empty bed. Silent guitar. Meals alone. But growth sprouted, journaling rages. Runs along the marina where gulls screamed freedom. June brought a crossroads. Ryan's pilot greenlit. LA move imminent. He showed up at Joseph's door. Duffel packed. Eyes hollow. One last talk. The Arboretum again. Ironic. Ryan knelt. Ring box out, not proposal, but a keychain. Intertwined silver bands. Engraved haven. Not chains. Choice. If you want me gone, I go. But I choose you every day. Flaws and fuck-ups. Joseph's resolve cracked. Fingers tracing the metal. I choose me first. Always. Pause. Breath steady. But maybe us, too. Slow. Relief crashed Ryan's face. They clung. Kisses salt stung. Not perfect, therapy weekly. Boundaries etched, but a beginning. Yet as Ryan drove south, Joseph's phone lit. Tommy's number. Unblocked by glitch. Text. Heard lover boys leaving. Smart. You were always the weak link. Attached. Dad's campaign ad. Ryan's face blurred out. Voiceover droning, traditional values. Betrayal's Hydra. Headless but thriving. Joseph deleted. Blocking anew. Love demanded vigilance. But he was ready, scarred. But standing. Summer in Berkeley without Ryan was a half-life. Sun-drenched days hollow. Nights echoing with phantom strums. Joseph threw himself into a volunteer stint at a queer youth center in Oakland, facilitating art workshops for kids fresh from Bible Belt exiles. Their stories mirrored his furtive crushes, parental ultimatums, the electric terror of first pride flags. You're proof we make it, a 14-year-old with chipped nail polish told him. Crayon rainbows clutched tight. Joseph swallowed the lump, nodding. Survival wasn't escape. It was witness. Ryan's calls were lifelines. Daily check-ins laced with LA grit. Traffic jam rants. Craft service gripes. Whispers of I ache for you at 3 a.m. Transparency ruled. Shared locations. Open calendars. Weekly video dates over takeout. But distance amplified fissures. Ryan's set crushes, platonic, sworn, sparked Joseph's insecurities. Joseph's flirty workshop compliments, innocent, ignited Ryan's. We're learning, Ryan said during a glitchy Zoom, face pixelated but earnest. Like beta testing a heart. Fall crept north. Joseph's junior year dawning with resolve. He extended the dorm lease solo. Ryan's sublet a trial separation. Not severance. Ryan flew up for move-in, hauling boxes with a grin that didn't reach his eyes. Missed this shoebox. The hug lingered, bodies remembering. Re-entry was tender. First night, they cooked burnt pasta and boxed wine, laughter bubbling like forgiveness. Bed followed, tentative hands exploring as if remapping territory. Still fits, Ryan murmured, Joseph's laugh muffled in his neck. But morning brought reality. Ryan's red-eye back, Joseph's 8 a.m. seminar. The rhythm stabilized. Weekends a blur of flights and ferries. Ryan's pilot rapped. Buzz building, queer rom-com with teeth. Variety teased. Joseph's med apps loomed. Essays bleeding vulnerability. I fled to heal. Love taught me to fight. They celebrated submissions with a Marin hike. Redwoods towering like sentinels. Hands clasped on fern-carpeted paths. Yet the past clawed back. October elections loomed. Ryan's dad announced rerun. Platform heavy on moral decay. Billboards bloomed. Stern face. Slogan protect our families. A podcast ambush followed. Host grilling Ryan remotely. Your father's values align? Ryan's response went viral. Dad's wrong. Love's not decay. Hate is. Shout out to my boyfriend, Joseph, my moral compass. Backlash erupted. Death threats to Ryan's inbox. Joseph's center vandalized. Graffiti slurs scrubbed by dawn. Tommy resurfaced. Anonymous email. Dad's pulling strings. Drop re or we drop you. Joseph forwarded to campus security. Heart steel. Let them try. The holidays tested metal. Joseph's parents extended an olive branch. Thanksgiving invite. Neutral ground. Ryan encouraged. Go. Show them the man you've become. Joseph flew home. Nebraska wind whipping like judgment. Dinner was minefield. Dad's prayers laced with barbs. Mom's eyes pleading. He's good to me, Joseph said over pie. Photo of him and Ryan on his phone. Real love. Not the fairy tale. Dad's fork paused. Later, a gruff hand on shoulder. If he hurts you, unfinished, but progress. Ryan's LA Christmas was chaos. Sis's tree trimming. Gifts wrapped in irony. A broke-back DVD from Dad. Intercepted. Joseph joined for New Year's. Times Square ball drop a metaphor. Countdown to what? Fireworks burst as they kissed on a balcony. City roaring below. To us, Ryan toasted champagne. Unbreakable. Winter thawed into spring. Joseph's apps yielding acceptances. UCSF. With whispers of Johns Hopkins. Ryan's film premiered at Sundance. Sold to streaming. Joseph front row. Tears during credits. 4J. Who showed me home. After-party toasts flowed. Agents swarmed. But euphoria cracked en route home. Ryan's phone rang. Dad. Voice oily. Proud of the deal, son. But that dedication, bad optics. Ditch the boy. Or no inheritance. Ryan's face hardened mid-cabin. Tell Mom I love her. And fuck your money. He hung up, turning to Joseph. We're solid. Right? Solid. But the call lingered. Toxin. Graduation loomed. Joseph's senior year flashing by in a montage of theses and tantrums. Ryan relocated north. A Berkeley editor gig bridging to Joseph's med start. Cohabitation trial. Ryan's guitar back on the wall. Joseph's lab coats in the closet. Domesticity bloomed. Lazy Sundays with the Crown marathons. Arguments over grocery lists dissolving into countertop sex. The climax brewed subtle, then volcanic. June. Post-commencement bash. Joseph in cap and gown. Ryan filming his walk like a doc. Tommy appeared, uninvited, suit ill-fitting, ice feral. Congrats, Joey. Heard you're slumming it with traitors. He lunged, fist cocked, Ryan intercepting, shove sending Tommy sprawling. Security swarmed. Cops called. Interrogation room. Tommy spilled venom. Dad's orders. Campaign sabotage fears. Ryan's poison. Always was. Ryan's counter. Recordings of threats. Emails chained. Charges stuck. Harassment. Stalking. The fallout was cathartic. Joseph's parents testified, begrudging, but they're validating the pain. Dad's closing. Boy's family too. Ryan's dad disowned publicly, but privately crumbled. A letter arriving, I was wrong. Be happy. Summer healed. They escaped to Big Sur again. Anniversary echo, tense pitched. Fires crackling. Under stars. Ryan knelt proper. Ring simple. Silver like the keychain. Marry me? Not today. But when you're ready. Partners in the mess. Joseph's yes was whisper. Then roar joy unbound. They made love to Ocean Symphony. Bodies a testament. Scarred, but seamless. Epilogue unfurled years on Joseph, MD, specializing in queer youth mental health. Ryan, Oscar-nominated director, films etching hidden lives. Wedding in the Redwoods, vows exchanged amid ferns. Tommy a distant echo. Family mended, mom's cake, dad's toast. Their home, Berkeley Hills, guitar by the hearth. Kids adopted, fierce, chasing fireflies. Escape wasn't flight, it was arrival. In Ryan's arms, Joseph found not just love, but legacy humanity reclaimed, one honest heartbeat at a time.